talk a little bit about the sanitary district for folks who may not be familiar with what the district is all about, and the fact that you have not only the sanitary district but also the stormwater management district under your purvey. Tell us a little bit about the agencies first.
Absolutely, yes. So the Gary Sanitary District, it is a wastewater treatment plant. We process sewer and wastewater. So we have a combined sewer system, meaning that both of those factors flow into our pipes, so that sewer water as well as wastewater. So we strive to be environmentally conscious, environmentally focused, and we process sewage and wastewater not only for Gary, but also for Hobart, Lake Station, and Maryville communities.
How long has the district been in operation? But probably almost about as long as the city of Gary's been in operation.
Almost. I think we actually started in like 1938 or something like that. So we've been around for several decades, and we've gone under a number of improvements, both at our lift stations, within the community. Some people may have seen like the big, large cylinders, where we are helping to ensure that there is adequate flow throughout our sewer systems. So we've been around a long time and have been quite progressive.
When you talk about the sanitary district seeking out Gary-based contractors, maybe we should mention first, what are some of the projects that the Gary Sanitary District and the Stormwater Management District are undergoing this year?
Sure. I'm very proud to announce the partnership that we have with the Army Corps of Engineers. We have done a number of projects through them, and most of that has been through funding that Congressman Pete Visclosky has been able to obtain for us through grants called the 219 grants. So we're very happy to have that partnership because many of the projects cost millions of dollars. And so it's through these partnerships and these other funding opportunities that we have those partnerships. So, for example, one of the projects that we're doing with the Army Corps of Engineers is the Lake Street Sewer Separation Project that's going on the Lake Street area in Miller. In Gary. They being with the Army Corps, another project, finished on 32nd and Broadway. It was a flow modification project that we had going on. And so right now, there's a project. It's located on 29th and Jerry Street. Currently, it's on hold, but that project will be coming up online relatively soon. We have projects going on Clark Road. There's another one, a street drainage improvement project that is coming on 4th and Bigger Streets in Gary. And on the stormwater side, we have a project going on at 5th and Montgomery.
When you set up the projects within the sanitary district, most of them, I guess, primarily involving handling stormwater as well as trying to separate the sewers, I suppose, because that's in many cities it's been the big problem, trying to deal with not only sanitary waste going into the sewers, what normally people would consider, but also you've got the stormwater overflow. And we know here in the city of Gary that's a problem trying to keep the sanitary district equipment handling just this regular sanitary waste as opposed to whatever comes down whenever we have the rains.
Right. So as I mentioned earlier, we have a combined sewer system, one of the oldest probably in the state, if not the country, to the point where we have both sewer and wastewater coming into the same pipes. So we do have the risk of what's called a combined sewer overflow. And that just really happens when we have a heavy rain. That's, not much that we can do about it. But the projects that we have going on throughout the community helps to address some of the challenges that we face in having a combined sewer system. And so as we have these projects that go on in our communities, we want to make sure that the contractors that will bid on and ultimately work on the projects are as conscious of the community as they are with the environmental concerns that we have in our city.
Tell us what work has been done already in getting contractors, particularly ones that have workers or at least companies that are based in Gary to be able to work on these projects.
Absolutely. So when the Gary Sanitary District goes out for a bid, we ensure that in the bidding documents, we include the policies and practices that we would expect the contractors to adhere to relative to identifying local, meaning Gary, contractors and Gary construction workers. We hold pre-bid meetings where majority of those I attend to reiterate the importance of having local Gary contractors, suppliers, as well as construction workers.
How difficult has it been to be able to get people involved in the process that are basically based in Gary, have employees based in Gary?
To some degree, Chris, it has been challenging because we make sure that not only do we place the requirements in the bidding documents, but we reach out to the schools, we reach out to the churches. Last year, we held the Northwest Indiana Compliance Forum. And as a part of that forum, we had a Gary resident trade fair where we put flyers all over the community. We sent press releases. We went everywhere, scouring around the community to get Gary residents to come to the trade fair so that our contractors could meet them, right, and begin to build their own individual database of Gary residents to work on the projects. But as contractors are submitting what's called their certified payrolls to me to review, I'm consistently seeing a decline of Gary residents. And so that's why I sent out the email blast, because I need some assistance in identifying Gary residents that are either already a journeyman or are an apprentice, so I could get them in front of our contractors.
We're talking with Tammi Davis, who's the Director of Compliance and Project Engagement for the City of Gary's Sanitary District and the Stormwater Management District. They're together. They're also separate as well. And you mentioned about the fact that you've been looking for Gary-based contractors on the projects. Have you had much luck, I guess, in getting them back any of the email blast so far? Actually,
we have. I have seen a few Gary residents to respond to that email. I have someone that's a plumber, electrician, a carpenter, and when I go back into the office to check my email, I hope that there will be more. We do have some local Gary contractors that have responded with our procurement registration form to identify themselves. We know they're out there, but we want to make sure that we're making ourselves accessible and approachable to those. So anybody out there, here's my plug, Chris, before you ask me. We need Gary contractors. We need Gary suppliers. We need Gary construction workers. So if you're out there, if you know of anyone, please have them to contact me. May I leave my telephone number and email address? They can reach out to me via email at Tammi, Tammi, at GarySan, that's GarySan.com. My number to the office is 219-944-0595, extension 1824. We need plumbers. We need operating engineers. We need carpenters. We need cement masons and some laborers. We really need those in the skilled trades, if you will. So if you're out there, let me know who you are. We've got work for you.
Is this a problem or an issue, I suppose, that is more exclusive to the sanitary district or pretty much all of Gary City government?
It's a challenge throughout the country, actually, and Gary is not alone. There are a number of surrounding communities that have a local hiring ordinance similar to Gary, but not the same. East Chicago has one, Hammond, and I believe Michigan City has a local hiring workforce. But it's a challenge, I believe, for all communities that's trying to find local residents. But then when we get into looking for minorities and women, that number gets even smaller. And so in speaking with a number of the trades, their challenge now is that they have a number of union workers that are retiring. And they need to, repopulate the books with the next generation of construction workers. So it's a regional challenge, Chris. It's not just specific to Gary, but because that's the community that I represent, I have to speak on our behalf. But there is a challenge. We know that there are a number of young people that's out there. They're being exposed to going to college. They're being told about careers in the military. But when it comes to construction, I constantly hear that that's not something that they're told is a career option while they're in high school or in college. And we need to change that conversation.
Are you finding that that through your efforts working with the city of Gary in particular, that the skilled trades are in turn getting their apprenticeship programs supported as well? Or is this something that you're working especially hard for the city of Gary, but it seems to be narrowed down to the fact that none of the trades are getting all the apprentices they'd like to have?
Well, it's well, first of all, let me say I'm very proud to have the support of my executive director and the mayor to ensure that local Gary residents and local Gary contractors are provided employment and contracting opportunities on our projects. So I'm fortunate in that regard to have that high level of support. In regards to the apprenticeships, it is a challenge, but we do have a good line of communication and working relationship with the apprenticeship coordinators of nearly every trade. We have a good relationship on the journeyman side and speaking with many of the business agents. So it is a collective effort of trying to get more, particularly minorities and women, involved into the construction trades.
We know this is an effort that the overall Center for Workforce Innovation is trying to support. They've been trying to get the word out, I know, and get all the trades together. Do you think that this is going to be a problem? Are you finding that the efforts that the state is having to try to boost more people involved in going into the trades as opposed to going into college and helping get you off in the right direction?
Well, we have a good relationship working with Linda Wolashansky. I've known her for years, love working with her. And last year, the Center for Workforce Innovation, the Work One Centers, and the Construction Advancement Foundation, they held a hands-on construction trades career fair at the Lake County Fairgrounds. And it was widely supported by nearly every school in Lake and LaPorte County. And so it's those types of initiatives that's needed to expose our children to the actual trades. The hands-on allowed them to get a feel for what it means to be an electrician, what it means to be a technical engineer, what it means to be an iron worker. So that type of hands-on exposure is very critical. But it is, again, it's a collective effort. So where the state is trying to go in regards to apprenticeships begins with making sure that all the communities in Northwest Indiana are made aware of the careers in construction. And I emphasize careers because it's not just about working in the field. They need project managers. They need people that are in the marketing, so there are all types of career opportunities in construction. I just think that our school system could do a more aggressive job in letting high schoolers know that there are other careers in construction.
Do you think that this is just another project that, in particular, the Gary Community Schools, although they have their own issues to deal with, that they're trying to help make sure that young people across the city of Gary and the region as well know that these are job opportunities that are out there, these are career opportunities that are out there? Absolutely.
Everybody's got things that's going on. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast in our country right now. But I think that in terms of our school corporation, they still have a responsibility in terms of educating our children, educating them with the textbook, but also educating them with career options. And so to the degree that we can ensure that they are made aware of, if they educate inform the students that there are careers in construction. Some students, may not feel so lost in terms of having options if they don't want to go to college. And for those who aren't interested in going into the military, they could see construction because there's good paying jobs. I mean, some people in construction make up more than $100,000 a year. And so those salaries and wages, they need to be made aware of.
Tammi Davis is the Director of Compliance and Project Engagement for the Sanitary District in Gary and the Stormwater Management District in Gary. And thank you for spending time with us to talk about your particular needs and how you are trying to work with all the other trades, in particular in Northwest Indiana, to get young people involved and educated as well. And we hope that you'll be back with us again soon to bring us updates and keep us informed as to what at least the Sanitary District and the Stormwater Management District are doing to be able to get the people to be able to get these projects done. Thanks for being with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chris.
You're listening to Regionally Speaking on Lakeshore Public Radio.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for your
much.
help today.